Just start repeating those Pinteresty mantras. It's all part of the process, and my writing journey is different from everyone else's. Good morning, gentle viewer. Today is Manuscript Monday. So I'm going to be getting ready for the day and talking about the progress in my current manuscript, and also about how working on the next manuscript helps sustain me during the submission and rejection process. So thank you for stopping by, and I hope you enjoy. Alright, I'm going to start with some concealer this morning. And I didn't film a video last week. I had some personal business going on, and also California was literally on fire. If you're interested in helping those who have been affected by the San Diego and Southern California wildfires, send the text SD Recover to 50155, and that monetary donation will go to the San Diego Foundation Disaster Fund. You can also donate directly to the San Diego Fire Department. The Southern California Fire Departments have all been working so hard, and I'll put the links for all of these organizations in the box. So I had all of this personal stuff going on, and my immediate thought was that I wasn't going to be able to get any amount of writing done. Instead, what ended up happening is I found myself reaching for my writing at one point. I think that's something I did more naturally as a child and as a teenager. I remember being at my part-time jobs and finding moments to write. I definitely wrote a lot during college when I was taking a class that I didn't really need to pay a lot of attention in. But as I've come to pursue writing as more of a career, I don't reach for it in the same way. One of the reasons is likely because I do try to keep steady writing hours, whereas in college and as a teenager, I couldn't really have that. I remember in middle school, sometimes I would stay up late and either read books or fill my notebooks with stories. But while I was home and monitoring the news and prepping my go bag and all that kind of stuff, I found myself in a headspace where I kept thinking, man, I really need to write something. So I didn't work on my current work in progress. Instead, I ended up drafting a lengthy prologue to my secondary project. And at the time when I was writing that prologue, I kind of went into it with a mindset of this isn't really going to lead anywhere and probably won't make it into the manuscript, and I'm just doing it to escape reality, which there's nothing wrong with that, gentle viewer. But I was pleasantly surprised by the outcome of that writing session. I still don't know if it's going to make it into the final manuscript necessarily, but it ended up cementing one of the characters' voices really solidly in my mind. It really established his personality. As far as my work in progress goes, I'm gradually filling in the scenes that are in between my main plot points and really starting to get a better picture of the manuscript as a whole. In the meantime, still racking up plenty of rejections from the submission I put out this past spring. Once I've put something out on submission, I don't really dwell on it too much. I keep track of the responses in a spreadsheet, but other than that, I don't dwell or think about it too much. I really want to put my energies into the next manuscript so I can get that out on submission. Also, focusing on the current work in progress instead of the last one that's on submission. For me, that really lightens the burden every time a new rejection rolls in. And especially if that rejection comes after a full manuscript request. And that's kind of the state I like to be in. If I can have one manuscript on submission and another work in progress that I'm currently drafting and another one that I'm in a brainstorming outlining phase, that's a good place for me to be. Just in a steady stream of producing the next manuscript. I like to think that I am getting to a place where I can speed up that process a bit as well. Because I was doing a manuscript about once a year, and I've kind of shortened that to more of an 8-month cycle. And I'd like to shorten that even more to get into a 2 manuscripts a year cycle, which I think is doable for me. So maybe I'll set that as an intention in this upcoming year. Eye brushes are so confusing sometimes. It's just so many of them. I was talking to a friend of mine on Skype the other day, and we had a really long discussion about false eyelashes, favorite types of glue and techniques. Makeup, much like writing, really puts me in a headspace of everyone else has their shit together while I do not. And that's when you end up with the advice that everyone feels that way some of the time, which I do not find particularly comforting. Alright, this is about as good as it's gonna get today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're celebrating Hanukkah or any other holiday this week, I hope you and yours have a safe and happy holiday. Thank you for spending some time with me this morning, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!